Howdy folks, I'm out for a hike today at Hill Higher State Forest, Western New York State. It's a nice little state forest with no trails. I'm just walking in on an access road that's closed to vehicles, and I've actually already spotted something off the trail that looks worth investigating, so we're going to peel off right away and go take a look at it. Like a wagon. Someone was out here. It's hard to tell how old it is. It's definitely pretty damaged. Looks like the remains of a tent. A lot of cans. Unopened. If I had a can opener, I'd open it to see what's in there. I don't have any way to open it. Toothbrush, some cleaning supplies. A lot of trash. I saw the wagon from a distance and I thought, well, that's neat, but I hate to see all the trash left behind with it. They must have used it to haul back some camping gear, but they left a mess. Never leave a mess like this. Always clean up after yourself. Leave no trace. But anyway, let's get on with our hike. So my plan is to spend the whole day out here exploring. It's a really good time of year to visit one of these forests without trails, because once spring and summer come in full, it's all grown in and hard to navigate. But this time of year it's pretty easy to just go wherever you want. So that's what we're gonna do. At some point I'm gonna sit down and go through the contents of my backpack. And I've got a fun little gear item to test out for the first time. A little Stanley coffee maker. So later on we'll make a little fire, make some coffee, talk about some gear. So if you do want to skip ahead, I'll put the timestamp on the screen if you want to skip the hiking. But if you're in for the long haul, well then let's go. Let's get some hiking done. It's a beautiful day. A little chilly, but the sun keeps poking out. I think it's going to be a nice one. Walking along, come across a pretty interesting pile of rocks. It's a big one. I've seen big rock mounds in the woods before. Most likely it's left over from clearing old roads or making old property lines. But I always like to imagine that it could be something more exciting, like a Bigfoot grave. Y'all up on top. This is definitely the biggest random rock pile I've found in the woods. They're usually big, but not this big. This is a pretty big mound. But that tree's cool too, the way it's bent there. Saw some kind of little burrow access hole here for some critters. Well, we're off to a good start on this hike, finding some interesting things to look at. Let's see what we find next. It's a really cool looking tree here. Snapped off though. It's really big and knotty. Looks like it's completely opened up over here. Look at that. Wow. It's really cool inside. I really like the window opening there. Just so big. So we've looped back out to the rocky access road we started walking on. I'm going to stay walking on it for just a few minutes to enjoy the sunshine, but then we're going to cross and go on the other side and continue our hike. We're entering the forest again, getting off that road, kind of dead-ended anyway. Pretty thick here. Like I said earlier, this time of year makes it a little easier to get through these thick wild bits of forest, but it's still a little difficult. A lot of thorny plants, a lot of thick little trees, but if this was full grown by the end of spring and summer, it'd be almost impossible, if not completely impossible, to get through some of this stuff. It's kind of nice to get to sneak through, see what kind of treasures are hiding. Stumbled on what appears to be an old forgotten road. Definitely nothing that's been used in a long time. It's hard to see on camera, I think, but it is just full of thorny prickly plants. See here, everywhere. In summertime this road would be just awful to get through. Even now I have to be careful. Thankfully most of these are squished down already and easy enough to kind of navigate, but definitely caught some prickers in my thighs on this walk. Although no big complaints. It's a nice hike, peaceful day, just wonderful. Looks like we already have some egg sacs, like frog's eggs, I'm assuming. There's a bunch over here. Seems almost a little too cold for that, but what do I know? Well folks, I've been walking for a while, getting hungry. I'm gonna stop for a lunch break. And while I'm stopped, I figure we'll go through my bag, talk about the gear I brought. Oh. First of all, I'm using my little collapsible stool. I brought that with me. Nice little seat. These are going to be for later. This is my old Stanley little cook set cooker, and this is a new item. It's also from Stanley, but it's for making coffee. I don't need that just yet. Still got lots of energy, so I'm going to save this for later, and we'll make a little fire, make some coffee, try that out for the first time. Always got my extra water. Got to have spare water. Keep hydrated even when it's cool out. Got the foam pad. I keep this in the back of my backpack since I just have a loose canvas backpack. It provides a little padding. It can also work if I want to sit on it for padding. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's go in the pocket. I did bring some gloves, just basic wool glove liners, because it was a little chilly this morning. It's still a little chilly, but I feel nice and warm. The sun's out, I'm walking. I definitely don't need to wear these at the moment. Got my little first aid kit, band-aids, ointments, what have you, basics, simple stuff. Emergency blanket. I brought a little flashlight with me this time, just in case. This is like a wind buff face mask. In case it was cold and windy, I could wear that. I've also got my bandana. Spare paracord. Little poncho with emergency whistle. Got my compass. A little bag of miscellaneous survival tools, a candle, matches, pencil, tape. I went through a lot of this stuff a few videos back, a little more in depth. I also have with me a basic knife, strong but simple, sharp, can come in handy for a lot of things. So yeah, I'm gonna relax, eat my lunch, which is just a basic handy dandy peanut butter jelly sandwich on a nice multi-grain bread. It's my go-to lunch while I'm hiking. I'm gonna have that. I did bring some extra snacks just in case I need them. I plan on being out for a long time. So I've got these pizza flavored protein pretzels and chocolate fudge brownie aloha bar with 14 grams of protein. 20 grams of protein in the pretzels. So those are my snacks if I need them. I don't know if I'm gonna need them though. I'm just gonna have my sandwich for now, and then we'll go back to hiking for a while. A couple things I forgot to mention on the gear talk is I also have a lightweight simple tarp in my pack, and also hanging here, easy access on my bag, I have some bear spray. Never had to use it. I actually just started carrying it at the end of last year for the first time. I haven't seen bears, but there's a few places I hike where I have seen bear prints in the mud. I've seen claw marks on trees and what I think is bear poop. So I figured can't hurt to be prepared just in case. Came right off. Pretty cool. This is a really cool mossy area. Little bits of leftover snow make it look even more scenic. A little muddy and swampy to walk through, but I got my big rubber boots on. This cool little hobbit hole in the moss under this tree. Really cool mossy area. Well, folks, it would not be a hike with Gabe if I didn't make a big mistake somehow. So I've been hiking for quite some time since I had my little break and showed you guys everything. I've been hiking around the south section of this forest. I came up north to the road behind me. I just realized, I reached back, I realized I don't have my knife. When I sat down, I stuck it in a stump next to me, and I forgot to grab it when I left. But thankfully, I think I can find it again. I got to circle back. There's this access road here. That curves off from the other road I was just on. And I think if I take this all the way down, stop and look at this sign. It's a nice sign. That's new. I wasn't here last time. But anyway, I think if we take this road, I can get pretty close to where I took my break, and I can check my GPS to see where there's a big blob from sitting around, and hopefully find that knife, because it was a gift and it's really high quality, so I don't want to leave it. I'm going to find it. I'm going to take a detour and find that knife before we continue hiking. I really lucked out the way this forest is laid out with those access roads, because I was able to take that one most of the way back where I need to be. Now I'm back in the woods, and thankfully where I took that break was not terribly far from that road, so I think I'll be able to find it. Basically looking to get down to this squiggle area on my tracked GPS. Oh, here we go, folks. Found it. Oh, I'm so happy. I was so disappointed when I realized I had left this and I didn't think I'd find it, but thankfully, between my GPS tracking and the way this forest is laid out, it wasn't too hard. It took me a little bit less than a mile, like 3/4. Okay, backtrack, back up that road. Now when we get up to the other access road here, we'll cross that and go to the north section of this forest. And I'm going to find a spot to take a little break, make a little fire, and we'll test out that Stanley coffee maker, make ourselves a little bit of coffee to finish off the hike. Nice big pile of mossy stones. Over here in the north portion of the forest, crossing a creek. Alright, I set myself up a nice little breakfast nook, little coffee nook. It's actually afternoon, not breakfast, but I got my stool, found a place to hang my bag. Got a small pile of wood ready, and a little pile here. I made a base of dry wood. I've got my shredded up sandwich bag in there, some bark, dry sticks. There's a lot of big messy puddles nearby, so if the fire gets out of hand I can put it out real fast. There's also plenty of dry fallen wood nearby, so I can keep this going as long as I want, but it's going to be kind of short and quick and just enough to make some coffee. So let's get set up and get started. Okay, that fire went right up. It's ripping. No problem at all. Get a nice bed of coals going, and then I'm going to use my Stanley little cooking cup set thing here without the cups. I just have the little pot. We're going to use this to heat up our water. In here I just have a few clean bandanas as backups. Put these over here for now. And then I just pre-measured out a little bit less than a tablespoon's worth of ground coffee. I don't know exactly how much to use in this thing, but I'm thinking that's a good starting point. So this is the new piece of gear I got. It's from Stanley. It looks like just a nice solid water bottle, but opens up and has a French press inside. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I was looking at it just a little bit earlier, and you can twist and take off the bottom, which makes cleaning easier. A lot of French presses are hard to clean. So that should be good. I haven't used it yet, so we'll see how it works. But it fits in really nice in here. And then the lid kind of has two ways to open. I think you can open the top here to let it steam if you need to. Let the steam out. But yeah, we're gonna get this fire going, get some hot water, and we're gonna try to make some coffee in here and see how it goes. I could use it after that detour to find that missing knife. Okay, I've got the coffee and hot water in here, and I put the plunger just a little bit in the top. I didn't push it all the way down yet. We're gonna let it sit and brew for about 3 minutes before I push it all the way down. All right, it's been about 3 minutes. I put my bandana over top just to keep any soot or falling twigs and sticks from landing in it. But let's go ahead and push it all the way down. Put our lid back on. Okay. We'll open the steam vent on top. Okay. I'm going to let that sit for a couple of minutes now to just not be boiling hot, and then we'll take a sip and see how it brewed up. Alright, so I got my coffee made, my new Stanley cup here. I can tell it's still very hot, but I'm a little impatient. I want to give it a sip. I'm afraid. I can tell it's very hot. Yeah, it's pretty hot. Just barely I can drink it. I'm gonna have to let it cool a bit, but that worked really well. It's pretty easy. It's a perfect amount, either for a single person, if you like a big pot of coffee, or to split with another person on the trail. Yeah, and this will keep it hot probably all day if I close it up. These Stanley cups work pretty well. I use one for my water that's just a regular water bottle. This one has the French press inside. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that. Not sponsored by Stanley, If one of the 30 viewers of this video happens to be from Stanley and you want to sponsor me, I'm open to that conversation. But yeah, if you're just looking for a nice, easy way to make coffee when you're camping or hiking, this thing I think is a good choice. I also think strength-wise, I did about a little less than a tablespoon. Seems about perfect. I'll know better once I can drink more when it's not quite so hot. But I kind of like my coffee just a little weaker than the average person maybe. So you can keep that in mind. If you like it strong, you might want to use more. If you like it weak, use a little less. But yeah, this thing works well. I can't wait till it cools down enough to drink. Yeah, that's where we had our fire. I doused it real good, got it all put out, stirred up, covered up again. It's important to clean up after yourself out in the woods. Put out your fires. Don't leave a trace. Cool pile of rocks. Well folks, it has been a nice long hike today. Beautiful day, a little chilly but just the right temperature for hiking. I'll go ahead and post on the screen the fully tracked hike where I was today. I think I'm going to wrap up the video here. I'm almost out of the woods. So please hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I need lots of subscribers, and feel free to leave me a comment. I'll at least acknowledge it, give it a thumbs up or a heart or whatever, but if it's a question I will answer it. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.